วัสดีค่ะคุณผู้ชมคะยินดีต้อนรับเข้าสู่รายการโรงเรียนพ่อแม่ค่ะดิฉันลอร่าศศิธรวัฒนกุลค่ะเพราะว่าคุณพ่อคุณแม่นั้นได้รับเกียรติให้เป็นคุณครูคนแรกของลูกอย่างหลีกเลี่ยงไม่ได้นะคะดังนั้นบ้านก็คือโรงเรียนแห่งแรกค่ะและเมื่อถึงเวลาที่เขาจะต้องเข้าเรียนนะคะโรงเรียนก็ควรจะเป็นบ้านหลังที่2ให้กับเด็กๆค่ะรายการของเราวันนี้นะคะน่าสนใจมากค่ะเพราะว่าเรามีกรณีตัวอย่างจากประเทศอังกฤษนะคะให้เราได้มาศึกษากันค่ะว่าเมื่อคุณพ่อคุณแม่เกิดความสงสัยหรือเกิดความไม่มั่นใจหรือว่ากำลังมองในแง่ลบในเรื่องของพัฒนาการทางการศึกษาของลูกที่โรงเรียนคุณครูจะเข้ามามีส่วนร่วมได้อย่างไรโรงเรียนจะเข้ามามีส่วนร่วมได้อย่างไรน่าสนใจมากทีเดียวค่ะ
ใกล้หมู่บ้านชนบทในเขตชัยลีย์อีสต์ซัสเซ็กซ์ครอบครัวทั้งสองกำลังเตรียมพร้อมสำหรับประสบการณ์การเรียนรู้ครอบครัวแรกพ่อชื่อเอียนแม่ชื่อเจนและจอร์จลูกชายวัย5 ขวบที่มีปัญหาการอ่านอีกฝ้าของเมืองคือครอบครัวที่2พ่อชื่อเลสแม่ชื่อไอรีนและอลิซลูกสาววัย7 ขวบที่ขี้อายมากครอบครัวทั้งสองมีสิ่งหนึ่งที่เหมือนกันก็คือพวกเขาไม่รู้เลยว่านักเรียนชั้นประถมศึกษาทำอะไรกันบ้างที่โรงเรียนแต่ด้วยผู้เชี่ยวชาญของเราอดัมและกล้อง 2-3 ตัวในห้องเรียนพวกเขาจะได้เรียนรู้
Because the communication is good. If there is anything, it can be dealt with.
อดัม อับดุลนอร์มีประสบการณ์ด้านการศึกษากว่า 30 ปีเขาเป็นทั้งครูและนักจิตวิทยา
When you take concerns into school, they are. What you hope to get out of taking part in this?
An insight in what goes on at school. It'd be interesting to see what George gets up to. Don't really have much contact with the school. I don't think I've ever been in there in a normal school day. So it'd be interesting to see a type of fly on the wall.
As someone with 13 children.Actually, there must be some similarities about managing a family and managing a class. So you might have some experience which people who have just 1 or 2 children wouldn't have.
Yes, to a degree. But, I mean, obviously, because of the relationship I have with the children, colours it quite differently from the relationship a teacher would have with them.
Yes.
So I think theirs is probably more objective, whereas mine would be more emotional.
Obviously, one of the most important things at school.is reading and writing. And how does George do at that?
Well, there have been a few problems. It was highlighted that he needed a bit of extra encouragement. But no, it wasn't something we were particularly worried about, but it's something we obviously were aware of.
Did the school put anything in place to deal with that?
Yes, they did. They have what they call an early literacy scheme.And basically George was taken out of the class by the classroom assistant several times a week for about an hour and they just had a one-to-one and they concentrated mainly just on reading and writing and he's come on in leaps and bounds since then and also I think it's really given him an interest in wanting to do it because it's boosted his confidence knowing he can do it.
Okay, well in a little while we're going to be able to see George in action in school.which I think will be really exciting for both of you. You might see some surprises. You might see a George you haven't seen before. Who knows?
พ่อแม่ของอลิซกำลังต้องการคำแนะนำด้วยเช่นกัน
So, who's your teacher?
Mrs. Garland.
Mrs. Garland. And do you like her?
Yes.
Tell me why you like her.
I sort of had her for 3 years, and I didn't really know why I liked
Okay, so what about you? What's your general view of the school?
I mean, we're very happy with the progress Alice has made. I think sort of the class she's been in has provided a really good foundation for her sort of next level of education, so we're really pleased.
What do you hope to get out of being involved in this?
I mean, I think I'd like to see how Alice behaves at school. Obviously we know how she behaves at home and it'll be interesting to see how she interacts with her friends. Sometimes she can come across as a little bit shy in sort of new social situations and it's possibly been an issue in the past but she's been working on it so perhaps it would be nice to see how her confidence is growing and how she's developing perhaps more on a social side rather than academically.
อลิซกับจอร์จเข้าเรียนที่โรงเรียนประถมศึกษาเซนต์ปีเตอร์สเชิร์ชออฟอิงแลนด์ใกล้กับเขตลีวิสอีสต์ซัสเซ็กซ์เพราะมีนักเรียนทั้งหมดเพียง97 คนนักเรียนที่มีอายุต่างกันต้องเรียนด้วยกัน ในระดับปฐมวัยเด็กอนุบาลป .1 และป .2 เรียนห้องเดียวกันผู้อำนวยการมันช์มอโรดำรงตำแหน่งมาได้18 เดือน
เนอร์เซอรี่มีส่วนอย่างมากในการที่จะเตรียมพร้อมสู่การเรียนรู้เราไม่ได้คาดหวังมากมายจากเด็กแต่ว่าพวกเขาจะต้องหัดแบ่งพื้นที่กับเด็กคนอื่นๆที่อยู่ในห้องเดียวกันแล้วก็ในห้องเรียนแรกๆช่วงเดือนกันยายนจะมีเด็กแค่18 คนเท่านั้นแทนที่จะให้เด็ก30 คนกระจุกอยู่ในห้องเดียวฉะนั้นเด็กที่มีพี่น้องคนเดียวหรือว่าไม่มีเลยก็ถือเป็นการเปลี่ยนแปลงอย่างมากดังนั้นส่วนสำคัญจะอยู่ที่ด้านการเข้าสังคมของเด็กๆเพราะถ้าหากว่าเด็กมีจุดยืนในสังคมก็จะทำให้พวกเขาเกิดการเรียนรู้ขึ้นมาได้ค่ะเป็นเวลา 8:40 นาทีของวันสังเกตการณ์จอร์จกับอลิซมาถึงโรงเรียนและขานชื่อแล้วเมื่อกระดิ่งคาบแรกดังขึ้นถึงเวลาที่เลสกับไอรีนจะไปนั่งกับนักจิตวิทยาอดัมในห้องเรียนที่อยู่ติดกัน
Professor Norman, he's actually bought it, hasn't he? Because he thinks it's a really interesting site, a really interesting place.
Oh, there she is.
So what is a mammoth? Sort of getting to the idea of what this title might be about. What's a mammoth then? Do you know, Alice?
Was it a type of animal that lived a long time ago?
That's right. Do we have them today?
No.
No, we don't. There are no mammoths alive today. They're extinct. But there are creatures... That's right. I was just about to say there are some creatures that are related to the mammoth, aren't they? And they're elephants today.
Do you read to her a lot?
Yes, I mean we've read to her right from when she was sort of a baby.
But she can read herself.
And she loves reading. She's often found after bedtime sneaking books into bed. So.
Surely.
A readaholic.
Well, that's no bad thing.
Okay. I wonder whether I could ask Alice to start today. If you could read page 2 and 3 for me. I want to see if we can find out some more information about how this story begins.
Chapter 1. It all began when Dad saw the advertisement in the paper. Children's
It's difficult, isn't it? You did the first bit really well. Archie, and then we've got the next section. Lodge. Ickle.
Dig. Place is still available. Come and work with a highly qualified archaeologist. You could discover the treasures of an ancient world.
She got halfway through the word, didn't she? And then wanted some help. I mean, it's interesting that in this class are also reception-age children who may have had only a few months of experience of school. So what I'd be interested to see now is how this task is carried out by children of different abilities and ages. Presumably they're grouped together on tables according to ability rather than age.
Has anybody got an idea of what might be the mammoth mistake?
So we've got an interesting dynamic here where the more the children don't get picked when they've got their hands up, the more they gesticulate wildly.
What do you think? Have a think. There's a clue already here, isn't there, Alice?
She might lose it and then they might find it again.
They might dig it up. And what's going to be the mammoth mistake? Are they going to dig up and go, oh, look, it's one of these little wooden mammoths from the shop?
No.
What are they going to do?
They're going to think that it's a very old one.
It's going to think it's the old, ancient people tool. That's right.
Actually, the person who's getting to answer the question is the person who didn't put her hand up at all, which is, of course, Alice.
I mean, I'm not surprised in the way she doesn't put her hand up, because I know she can be sometimes reticent about doing that when she knows the answer.
Yeah, I mean, I think we can rule out that she doesn't know the answer. She does seem to know the answer most of the time. So it's either, well, two possible explanations we've had. One is that she doesn't like answering questions, and the other is that she's worked out that she doesn't need to wave her hand around like the others. Here we are in science.
What they got? Well, they've got these funny spots. What do we call those funny spots down there, Alice? They're the bullet points.
I get the impression this is quite challenging for the children. They think it's a science task, but it's turning into a literacy task. That's and I like that. Of course, actually, these questions, how, what, and so on, are science questions as well. So they're questions for research.
There's kind of something missing, isn't there? I think we need some other words in there. What other words could we put in to make it a better question?
Oh, no, changed her mind.
Does it have 3 parts to its body? Broader. Licia.
These two know the answer to everything, but they don't seem to get picked every time, do they?
Yeah. The teacher's picked up on it as well, isn't she?
How? Alice.
How many parts, if it was a dragonfly, how many parts does a dragonfly have to its body?
Yes, how many different parts does a dragonfly have to its body? Do we know it's a dragonfly yet? No, we don't know because we're trying to find out. So maybe we could just improve that a little bit by saying, how many parts to its body does it have?
It's nice to see they're so enthusiastic.
Can me and Grace move? Can we swap places, Grace? Otherwise you're never going to be... I don't mind. Grace? I don't care. Can we swap places? Yeah, but please, Grace.
Alice is prepared to say what she thinks, isn't she? She's not sitting back.
Yes.
Her feelings are being... She's saying what she thinks, isn't she?
Yes, but she didn't do it in an unpleasant way. And look, the teacher's now gone and done exactly what Alice wanted, but I think perhaps for a different reason. But so she must be feeling it was worth doing that.
Alice seemed quite determined. Seems quite determined to make sure that she can have a change and work with Ellie.
Being able to do this at this age in a group like that is a stepping stone to being able to negotiate your way around some probably far more difficult political situations peer-to-peer at secondary school. So it's this is the sort of the stamping ground where people learn how to get what they want, if you like, to how to cope with being as part of a wider group. Seems to me she's very competent at that.